Yeah. Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line. Do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. You ain't made it till you got stylers go out and shop for you. You ain't made it till they put...
Well, we are about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the New York Jets. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. This defense for the Jets, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Now on 2nd and 13. Herbert, throw right side, taken in by Gibson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll run with Gibson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The former 3rd overall pick, Quentin Williams there to bring him down. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
Now a man open down the middle of the field.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Herbert. Looking middle, and that's complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 43. The Chargers' passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. So opening drive 3rd down, they complete the slant to move the sticks.
And ordinarily, it's a high percentage pass when you throw it. And receivers like to run that route because it gets the ball in their hands pretty quickly. Just a couple of quick steps upfield, break towards the middle, the ball should be there, and then they can do some work afterwards.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Going for the deep ball. And this is caught. Touchdown, Chargers. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Take it in at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now Hall to start the drive. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was a 3rd and long run, and to me, that was just a wave the white flag kind of a situation. Obviously, they don't want to risk the chance of throwing it downfield and risking a turnover in this section of the field.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. Take it at the 37. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Once more, Gibson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further as they get him down well short of the line to gain. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Gibson gets hit and he fumbles it. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Now it's Herbert. This caught left side by the tight end Parham. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review with that last play. So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining. On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Herbert on 3rd down now. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On 4th down, Herbert. He's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Gibson is going backwards here. They come in and drop him all the way back at the 4-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
On second and goal, Herbert under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's third and goal now.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Under pressure, and they got to him again. A nightmare on third and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on second and goal, a sack on third and goal. Now brings up a decision on fourth down.
Seibert's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now it's Wilson. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think
Yeah.
you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On first down, not. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. On second down, a run with Hall. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on third down. Now Wilson. And he fires one, but incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Yeah, they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 36 yards on the play. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Quentin Williams. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
But Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Another try after the first down sack. Herbert, he lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
A final shot before the break for Herbert. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. We welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And this will be caught by Edwards. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Jets. Brian Edwards, 75 yards. And the Jets are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
On 2nd and 12, Herbert. This one left side caught by Gibson. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the 1st down sack. Herbert, and a quick throw here, that's complete. So the completion gets him just a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is taken around the 12. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And the Jets will take over.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Ball again on second down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
A give up the middle to Gibson.
And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Herbert.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On 2nd and 9, Wilson.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. On 3rd down, Wilson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Wilson and more there for a Jets first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
Play action. It's Wilson.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To throw is Wilson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Well, down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. It maybe wasn't quite desperation time, but it was getting close. And that interception there on the deep ball, that probably slams the door on their chances.
And maybe that was the thought process, that it wasn't quite desperation time. So now you take the shot before they're going to lay back any farther on defense. Go ahead and throw it downfield. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
That'll give them 8 that time. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
A give running right, Gibson.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Seems pretty obvious defensively. A key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is...
And intercepted! Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by DJ Reed.
And the Jets are right back in this football game.
Now with that interception, you feel like we've got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A Jet 1st down, 18 big yards that time.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson.
This pass out wide to Hall. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. If it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4.
And
Bro, what is that?
Sauce Gardner picks it off.
Then y'all gotta let them score too. This game is ass.
brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a jet touchdown.
We're part of this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because remember, they had a pick 6 on the other side, and now they get a pick 6 of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick 6 from earlier in this game?
Taken in at the 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And now this 4th quarter becoming very interesting. That pick 6 makes this a 1-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th.
Gibson again.
And there he goes, right side. Touchdown, L.A.
Antonio Gibson.
His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Chargers use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And last time they were stopped on 4th down, had a drive stalled out. We'll see how they respond this go-around.
I'm eager to see what their mindset is, because moving the ball, feeling good, and then that abrupt stop on 4th down. Do they go back to the bench and go, oh, boy, they've got something for us? Or do they go to the bench and say, we blew it ourselves. Let's get back out there and move the ball again.
And is it different when you get stopped on 4th versus punt? Is that more motivation for the defense, a little more confidence?
I think as a defense, you're so excited with a 4th down stop.
How many fucking picks am I gonna drop?
But a 4th down stop, that's almost a sign of disrespect that they went for it in the first place. And when you get that, you feel great about yourselves.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. Instead, it's 4th down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Gets this to Gibson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Throwing now is Wilson.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Wilson to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Wilson.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Here's Wilson. That one caught by Gibson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be 2nd and a couple. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 20-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like,
yeah,
you
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. A big mistake in that spot. You got to let it go down.
They didn't give themselves a chance. They had an opportunity, touched it first. Now they're in a really bad spot.
Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee.
What a finish in this one, Charles. You know, this group, they come in, they have to fight a hostile atmosphere every snap. They get the late score, they get the victory, and that flight home, it's going to be a little sweeter after this one.
And Brandon, just like you, I was fired up for that last sequence. How about that? Wouldn't you have loved to have been in the huddle when they were mounting that game-winning drive? Big-time moment. No one shied away from it. They tuned out the crowd, kept their heads, and executed the way they needed to earn that win.
So, for the Chargers, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another road day next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.
I'm the best, and I got it, on my own. Get my way up, go. If I touch it, then it's cold. I'm the best, and I got it, on my own. Get my way up, go. If I touch it, then it's cold. He for the bank and they know I'm in prison. He wanna talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking no from my boy heavy. I'm the best and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water. Teaching but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I can pick up when I call her. Working big and it don't hurt to break, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he lead a know it, Mr. Know I got him running to it. I'ma need to pull the mouth before we talk it that I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Run a like a runner do it. Stun on her till like a stunner do it. I'm the best, and I got it, on my own. Get my way up, go. If I touch it, then it's cold. I'm the best, and I got it, on my own. Get my way up, go. If I touch it, then it's cold. Top dog like I vanished. I'm the really damaged. I came out and make the channel froze. I'm really who the panel chose. Put my name up like a banner boat. Acting tough and I'ma let her go. Name her who got a better flow. She can hang it up just like a telephone. Sticking up with the cost 10K to let it come see it. Me and Zell, yeah, make it come treat it. Spin, make it come beat it. I want the new it in the machine out. Jewelry be caught like the temperature zero. I'm the hardest, they call me the hero. Heavily, then they know what I be on. I'm the best, and I got it, on my own. Get my way up, go. If I touch it, then it's cold. I'm the best, and I got it, on my own. Get my way up, go. If I touch it, then it's cold.
Hello, new world, all the boys and girls. I got some true stories to tell. You're back outside, but they still lied. Whoa, yeah. Take off the foo-foo, take off the cloud chase, take off the Wi-Fi. Take off the money phone, take off the car loan, take off the flex and the white loss. Take off the weird jewelry, I'ma take 10 steps, then I'm taking off top 5. Take off them fabricated streams and the microwave memes, it's a real world outside. Take off your idols, take off the runway, take off the Cairo. Take off the Sandro pay, 5-day stay, take a $250,000, hella final. Take off the fuck flag, take off perception, take off the cop with the iPad. Take off the allure, take off the unsure, take off decisions I lack. Take off the fake deep, take off the fake woke, take off the I'm broke, I care. Take off the gossip, take off the new logic that if I'm rich, I'm real. Take off the should know, take off the doje, take off the Birkin bag. Take all that designer off and what do you have? You ugly, you out of pocket. Two ATMs, you step in a what? You out of pocket. Who you think they talk about? Talk about us. You out of pocket. Who you think they carry up for us? Get back in pocket. The world in a panic, the women is stranded, the men on the run. The profits abandoned, the law take advantage. The market is crashing, the industry wants to sleep in the box while they making a mockery following us. This ain't monopoly, watching for love. This ain't monogamy, y'all get it. Jumping on what the hell is that? I gotta relax when I feel. All my descendants, they come in my sleep and say I am too real. I'm done with the sensitive, taking it personal. Done with the black and the white, the wrong and the right. You hoping for change and miracles. I know the feelings that came with burial cries. You ugly. You out of pocket. Two ATMs, you step in a what? You out of pocket. Who you think they talk about? Talk about us. You out of pocket. Who you think they carry up for us? Serving up a look, dancing in a drop. Hello to the big step, but never lose a count. Venting in the safe house. Venting in the safe. Can I vent out my truth? I got nothing to lose. I got problems and booze. I can swim with my fate. Cameras moving whenever I'm moving. The family suing whatever I make. Murder is stacking. The president acting. The government taxing my funds in the bank. Homies ejecting the fence when I'm breaking. Look at my reaction. My pupils on skates. Hold up. Let's think about this for a second. Tell me what you would do for steady. When you show your show no credit. When you show your bro for leverage. What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant? What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant? You out of pocket, yeah, you out of pocket. You entertain the mediocre, need to stop it. You entertaining old friends when they toxic. What your life like? You gossip. What the is council culture, dog? Say what I want about you. I'm like overdog. I treat you like I'm Jigga. Watch I own it all. Oh, you worry about a critic? That ain't protocol.
Let's go. I am the great. You seen it making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the great. You seen it making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. I am the greatest of all time. Said I'm coming for everything. You good, but to be great, you gotta have confidence. The next level was legend. You gotta have accomplishments. In any league, they considering me dominant. The long falls, you know the pit of defeat, bottomless. I was hungry way before I got your support. I hopped off the porch around the time that y'all got awards. Lyrical exercise, this what I call a sport. The fourth bar, brother, when I push the rock off the court. I got champion genetics. Champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the great. You seen it making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the great. You seen it making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the great. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. The chattermouths who talent don't average out. If your flow ain't nowhere near this caliber, that don't count. Competition get flattened out. Getting money like I went top 3 in the first round. My salary that amount. They want my style, but that ain't much to be flat about. I take it as a challenge when rappers calling my status out. One of the best, and they ain't my pedigree. You can have the rings, or we did it, AI's legacy. I got champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the great. You seen it making of a star, they